Uh, Hi everybody, Steven here. So this is part 6 of our tutorial, and on the last video what I showed you is how to apply the textures onto the mesh. As you can see, I managed to add the correct texture on the slab, and I'm just gonna quickly show you how to do that. But for this video, what we're gonna do is to maybe create a I'll show you how to do hot links so that you can have two separate files, one where that's going to be the master file where you give your context and maybe other buildings like other houses, and then a separate file where you can just work on the house, and then you can import it into the master file and easily move it around without having any issues with the story levels. Okay, first I'm just going to show you how to solve this. So if you remember last time when I applied the texture onto the slab, I couldn't get into correct position even though I used the align texture and set the origin to the corner like we did for the mesh. So what I had to do is to uh, make a let's create a copy here on the side. So what I had to do is to first create a slab that has the same shape as the mesh. Actually, I'm just going to move those two because otherwise I wouldn't know exactly where to put it back. So now I get the existing slab as a reference. Just going to delete that. So it's going to look like that. As you can see, the slab already had a texture on it. Location. So what you do first is actually take that rectangular slab, realign the texture on this one first, and I'm going to set it to the corner so it's set to correct position. And then what you do is, let's see, so I moved it along, and let's say this was your line work, because you would have done the outline of the streets. So now you're just gonna take that and remove some of the polygons to shape the road. So I'm just clicking on the one of the nodes to activate the palette, and then subtract polygon, use the magic wand to go inside the surface that I want to remove, and if you go back, as you can see, it only shows the road, and this I can move back into position here, and let's delete this, and I would have used that. Let's take the ones below. So this one is gone actually, so we're just gonna use this one, the new one that we made. Design, solid, gonna make sure it's who's gonna be target. So this is gonna be the target because we want to remove the part that's above the mesh, and this is gonna be the operator, subtract with upward extrusion, and that's what we got. Now we need to subtract this from the mesh, so this is gonna be the operator, the target's gonna be the mesh, and we're gonna do subtraction. And as you can see, we got the streets as a texture on this. Okay, so next I'm gonna show you how we can create a hotlinks that we can bring it back here. Okay, let's just do this. Don't do that, and we're gonna set those two as a Set mesh existing. And select this, and I'm gonna hide. Oh, yeah. They both into oh, this one is site mesh proposed. Just put site mesh existing, and I'm gonna delete those two. So that's the house that we're building at the beginning. But if I want to move stuff around, I could either group it, but I think that's not best practice. Just gonna delete that road. So what we're gonna do is to save that as a module and bring it back into the master file. So I think what I'll do is just select everything, file, save as, and oops, let's go to tutorial here, and we're gonna save that as a module. Okay, I forgot, but actually when you want to save a module, you need to save it from the 2D view. So let's hide this, and we don't need all those lines. So from a 2D view, you're gonna go File, Save As, and now you can select modes. So this is gonna be Villa Tugendhat. Gonna save, and you only save floor plans data. Press OK. So it's gonna. I think it's gonna save all the first floor, basement. It might save this, so we might have to clean up the file later on just to make sure that there's no extra stuff in the module file. So let's go open, and we're gonna launch a new instance. And where is it? I think it's this one. If you go into details, you can see that's the mod file. Press OK. So it's going to open a new version of ARCHICAD. You would have two windows open, and that's usually how I work with Hotlinks. So I can do the changes in the mods, and then it will automatically be updated on the master file. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So we are in the mod file, and we have our house. I always like to turn on everything to see if there's extra stuff that's in the file that we don't need. So we had the mesh, that's something we don't need because we just want the house. And now we're gonna go into in depth. So we don't need those lines. Delete. And what's this? What I'm selecting? Oh, so the section in elevation. So we don't need that as well. Go into the basement. We don't need the images. You just want to keep the walls, the floors, the windows, because otherwise it will just increase the size of your file. I'm just going to do the reference, those ones. I mean, I can import them back later if I need to do some more modeling. But yeah, that's good. And I'm just going to Control S to save. And now if I go to our other file, so that was the existing file, Villa Part 5, that's the one with the site. And what we're gonna do is to go into the ground floor, and we're gonna File, External Content, place a Hotlink module, And okay, one best practice to do is to have a layer set up for your hotlinks. So I'm just going to create one quickly. So you press Ctrl L to bring out the layer menu. I'm going to make new. Usually I call it hotlink, and I'm going to name it Villa Tugendhat. Press OK. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to File, External Content, Place Hotlinks. I'm going to change the master layer to, where's my hotlink? This one. And choose hotlink, new hotlink from File, and this is the one. I don't know why it's showing this type of icon, but press Select, and you want to bring in all the stories, not just one. Usually you'd use single story if you were to build like an apartment building where each floor plates could be different. Try to do that in another video, but just bring all stories. Press OK, OK, and place module. So now they're asking you the current story now is ground floor, and you tend to want to choose the same. If it's ground floor here, you just choose ground floor there. Press OK, and place it at the center of the current view. Okay. I just realized that it didn't actually update, because maybe if you go here, I did save, but sometimes you have to do save as on top of that module, so it actually save it. So now if I go back to here, you could either do hotlink, and you can see here it's been modified. So if you click update, oh, this is still here. So maybe in our mod file, if you go to ground floor, oh, they're still here. So that's why they were showing. So I'm just going to delete that. And now if I press Ctrl S to save, and I go back to my main file, you could either do the same thing, Hotlink Manager, and just update here. You can see it's been changed, but what I like to do is just resave. When you're on here, you just press Ctrl S, and the software will ask you if you want to update. It's just like a less click, and you can see the file has disappeared. I mean the photos. And if we go into the 3D, you can see our house is here, and it's already as one object. And then it's easier to rotate it. Everything moves as one. So what I'm gonna do is maybe delete the house here. Press F5. Gonna hide this and select everything here and delete. I'm just gonna bring it back, and now we can move that house into place. As you can see, it didn't delete the 2D elements, so just gonna select this, and maybe I'm gonna hide those as well, and delete. And I'm gonna bring back the mesh, which is side mesh existing, and just gonna place it along here. If I go on the first floor where it connects to the road, turn that, move to the side. The road doesn't show on the upper level, so you have to select the slab and make sure it shows on all story and not just the home story. So now if I go on the upper floor, it will show. And I'm just gonna move it along and rotate it so it's aligned with the streets. And it doesn't actually show me the image in the 2D view. I don't know if I can change that. If I go let's create a view. So from here, go here, and I'm just gonna drag it into here so it's a saved view, and we're gonna call it, just leave it as first floor for now. I just want to try something, see if I can make the texture appear on here. View settings. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, if you guys know how to show 2D texture in the 2D plane, well, just let me know or put a comment, or maybe I'll find a way in the next video. But what we could do now is to maybe just go into 3D, and maybe we can just move it there. So as you can see, the house is below. It's set at the ground level of 0, and so what we could do is to just move the house. One way to be more accurate is to create a section. We're just going to try to make a section. Oops, show layers. Section, and we're going to use the wall as a reference. So you click on the edge, and then you press shift to stick to that edge. So I'm going to create a section. I'm going to make sure stretch it so you go past, and maybe I'm just going to move it to the center of the house. Now if we go inside, open current settings, you'll see that's the ground floor of the mesh, and that's a house, and we want this, that's a street level, to be aligned with here. So you could either drag it to here now, so that will push all the way to the top. As you can see, this house is still inside. Let's go back. Okay, I think is this might be correct. It's just that maybe when they built the house, they actually did some earthworks and dig inside, because our mesh is taken from Google Map, and they use like a aerial photo to give you an indication of the contour of the site. So it won't totally be correct, but I'm gonna try to show you a way to make it work. Okay, so now we need to push the house a little bit to that side. If I measure roughly, that's about 12 meters that I need to move to the south. Just go back here, and I'm gonna move the house 12 meters. Is it 12 meters? No, that was 1200. I missed a 0. Yeah, it's more like it. Go back to A5, and it's kinda, yeah, it's still not in the right position. I think I went too far. I should have moved just 6,000. 6,000. Go back, and it's about right. Maybe this needs to be pushed out. So I'm just gonna move it that much. See how it looks. Maybe a little bit more. 3,000. Okay. You should remember that the image might not be to the correct exact size, so that's why it's a bit different from a model, but that's okay. Those images are just meant to be a guide and give you some context. So now I'll just show you what's good about the hotlinks. So if I go back to, let's say, our hotlinks file, and I'm going to go in 3D view, just going to change the color of the roof. So I'm just selecting the slab and just change it to red, and I save, press Ctrl S, oops, save, and it's to be a module. Okay, you have to go in 2D view, otherwise it won't save. And go back to here, and then if I press Ctrl save again, just to, okay, it doesn't do anything. I think I need to go here, file save again, go over here, press OK. Weird. It doesn't register the change. I did. Oh, F5, and now it's red. So it did change. I guess sometimes you have to do the update in a 2D floor plan and maybe not in 3D. But that's what's good about having the hotlinks, because let's say that's the house in the correct position, and then you go onto the ground floor. I just feel it's not really comfortable to walk in that angle. You could always use this to change the orientation. So now everything's going to be this way, and if you save the view, it will save the angle. So every time you go back to here. Oops. Oh, it's not showing anything. Show. So when you're at that angle, when you work, and if you go back to the view, oh well, it didn't save. That's weird. Wait, let's do that again. Set orientation to this, and go here, view section. I think you have to click on this, get current view, get current window settings. And now if I go back to here, let's say back to 0, that's the normal way. Go back to the view, and if I click this, that's weird. Normally it should save the orientation. Of course, never works in live, huh? First of all, view settings, get window settings, press OK. Maybe I have to do it while before I create the view. Let's try. Save it here, and I'm gonna open the organizer and create a new view. It's gonna be first floor rotated. Just gonna try if it works. Just gonna drag it at the top, and now go here. Doesn't work. That's weird. I thought I could save the orientation. Okay, maybe I'll find out why next time, but I'm pretty sure that's something that I could do. Eh, maybe if I save, control save. It's weird. Let's see. Set orientation. And first rotate it, view settings, get window settings, and oh, I have to unclick that. Let's see if it works now. Just gonna view settings, get current window settings, press OK. Okay. So that's the current view. And if I go onto this one, oh, okay, that works. I guess I just had to unclick that little button. So now it's saving the rotated view. Okay, cool. And what else can I show you now? I think now we get the house. Maybe let's see if we can show the bottom part. So if we go in here, you can see that the house is cut. So I think this is similar to how we create the road. We can actually use the slabs of the house to cut the mesh, but what I'll do is to go to the ground floor and create a slab, maybe of that size, and I'm going to enter into that section here that I made earlier. Open different settings. So that's a new slab that I created. Don't need it to be that big, and I'm going to bring it down just underneath here. So what I'm going to say to ARCHICAD is everything that's above this slab needs to be removed. So I'm just going to select that slab first. It's going to be the operator. That mesh is going to be target and subtract upward extrusion. So now if you go back into 3D, you can see everything that was above that slab has been removed. So now if we can just stretch that, yep, it's not really nice, huh? I guess because our contour are not that correct. Or maybe I'll try to lift the house a little bit, maybe 500. And because I mean there's a line I want point where the slab is going over the existing mesh, and I don't want it to extend past that, so I think is this is going to be the target, this is going to be the operator, and I think everything that's upward, just try. Yep, so it was upward, everything that was above this is going to be above the mesh is going to be deleted, and just going to bring it down 200. No, that's not what I want to do, because I don't want to see that edge. Oh well. Just gonna change the texture. Add some grass. And maybe that's not what I should be doing. Let's go to Tugendhat. So I think there's some staircase, so actually maybe the land is actually lower. Okay, I think I'm just gonna stop the video now and try to think about it, and I'll record the next video and show it to you. Okay, thanks for watching.